Welcome back to another episode of Kwok Grows Choy. It's now officially winter. By the time you watch this, it's going to be about just over a week, nearly a week since the clock went forward. Or should be backwards even. So what I've been doing since then, I've since the last episode, I've cleared out my polytunnel of all the tomato plants, keeping a few which I'll show you, and I've also sown some tatsoi choy and choy sum, and also some spinach on the other side. My broccolis are doing well. One of them is probably eaten by slugs. We'll be going over from slugs, and I've also kept a few of the pepper plants and tomato plants. What I'm going to do this year, or for next year should I say, is I am going to try and overwinter the tomato plants and pepper plants. This year onto next year, what I'm going to do is try to experiment and try and keep growing tomato plants and pepper plants, what is commonly known as overwintering. And basically what I do is you cut all the big branches or the big stems off, and remove most of the leaves, and you thereafter remove most of the roots. Obviously don't be afraid to cut away any of the larger roots, maintaining a nice wee bunch of roots and keeping your pot kind of semi-moist, just enough to feed the top part. You don't need as many roots because all you're doing is you're maintaining the kind of smaller growths, as you can see here, and hopefully it will come out alive and with new vigour in shoots. If the winter does get quite harsh and quite cold, I'll put a fleece over it to give it that kind of protection. It's a wee kind of experiment I'm trying, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, I've got tomato seeds obviously. So what I'll do is I'll show you about. As you can see, that's the tatsoi and choy sum. I don't know if you can see it. Zoom in. It has started to sprout out. These were sown 2 weeks ago. Whether they will grow big, because obviously it's getting colder now, so the growth rate slowed down. I'll wait and see. Certainly they don't grow well during the summer as they flower too easily. I was quite successful in growing them during the springtime, certainly. As you can see, I've grouped all these together, and I'll create a microclimate. I'll put a fleece over it if it gets too cold or if we get a harsh winter. As you can see, the pepper is quite like a skeleton, and that's the tomato plants over there. I've kept one tomato plant going. It's still going strong. It's obviously tomatoes isn't changing colour, isn't turning red, but the other one or two are, and as you can see it's still quite healthy, so they are quite blight resistant, so I'll keep that going. This is a Wong's gooseberry plant, which is still going strong. It's not it hasn't caused any problems. I'm not going to cut these back because it's quite a fragile plant, and on this side, as you can see, they've got the wee little lantern husk with a wee berry inside. I can feel it's in there, so it's not ready until the husk turns kind of brown. And apart from that one, which is going off, obviously, it's doing pretty well. Broccolis, it's doing quite well. That's got a nice wee head in it. Give it another maybe a couple of weeks, and as I was saying earlier, that has been going over by a slug, which isn't good, so I'm hoping it still comes out. See how it goes. The spinach, there's a bit of life there. I can just see it growing, see that? So that is a bit of life there, and that's my winter onions, which I've grown. My leftover bok choys, I think I'll just give that as a sacrificial lamb now. harvested most of the bok choys, which I kind of segregated. Come next year I'll have this kind of more structured. And there is my onion exhibition ones, and they're going quite strong still. It's amazing, although obviously I don't have a thermometer in there, but it is amazing how the kind of canopy, the glass canopy, adds that extra warmth to it. So it's great for germinating onions at this stage. I've got some Chinese seed pods right in the back there drying still. Give it another couple of weeks and then I'll start to harvest them. They are more onion sets which I've planted into cells. A couple of them probably died, especially those ones there. They haven't germinated. I'll give it another couple of weeks and they haven't germinated, and then I'll just pluck them out and replace it with the exhibition onions. But generally it's doing well. Everything seems to be growing still, considering the time of year. My comfrey is making comfrey feed and I think I need to replace the seaweed. What I'll do is, with the seaweed here, I'll put that into the compost bins, and I've already filled up a 1.5 litre bottle of seaweed fertiliser. That's another half a litre in there. So I might nip down to the beach and get some more seaweed and get another one filled out. In my next video I'll show you my compost bins, but for now hope you enjoyed this wee quick video and I'll catch you later.